This is weird. It's my first video blog, and my computer is stuck in black and white because it's broken. Okay. So this chapter was chapter 4, and it was on the cosmogram, and this was like a really confusing chapter for me. I think it's just because it wasn't on like a specific discourse. So I'm gonna try my best. But I think this whole chapter was kind of about because we've already like learned about family and career, so to kind of start looking for connections, even though we're not supposed to be thinking of our emblem, but just start to look for patterns between those two discourses, so maybe it can guide us when creating like the other two, but not to like think so much about the emblem, but just kind of. And they said it's like not necessary to try and like link and connect things so early, but it's not bad to just kind of keep, I guess, an ear open or an eye open for some patterns that are already starting to appear. Let's see. They talk a lot about something called a Kora, and it's like your sacred space, which again was really confusing to me. Let's see, and they say it's like a theoretical invention, and the Greeks recognized at least 3 kinds of space, and they talk about the topos, the Kora, and then the kanon. And the topos is kind of like a very abstract area or like holding of a place, and then the Kora is like that's they call the sacred nature of that tapo, so it's kind of like, I guess, the emotion or like something really special, a special mood about that place. And then the kanon is the nothing, which I don't know what that means, but it's the nothing. So it says that electricity should kind of takes the literal concepts and then use a Kora, so like this emotion and feeling, and put them into images. So it's like taking the literate concepts of literacy and turning them into images where you get a Kora and electricity. Sorry if this isn't making much sense, but let's see. There's like a lot of different like examples and stories in the book, and I think Omar is like kind of tells his my story version of how his went, and they always talk about all these like crossing paths and things. And there's like a story about this guy named Walter Benjamin, and he talks about like all these things, these primal acquaintances, and those aren't like somebody you meet because like I introduced them to you, but people you just meet in life because of decisions you make or like places you go to. It's kind of like a chance meeting, and this like meeting someone can like put you on a different path in life. And it says that paths that lead us again and again to people have the same function for us. These are passageways. So basically like these passageways guide us to like a friend or someone who might take advantage of us, but it all kind of, you go on these paths and meet people who put you on different paths, and it kind of forms who you are. Let's see. Oh, there was like a really interesting thing that like one of the exercises, and they talk about how one lesson of the Xanadu, which they mentioned earlier, and I didn't really understand that, but it's like everyone lives in 4 places, and I think that stands for the discourses, but it was cool because they were saying how if you have a map and you just take a pen and you can just like trace like maybe a map of your hometown and just trace places that are like special to you, and that can like kind of outline like important parts of your life or like what makes up who you are. Okay, and then there's a part in the book that kind of on page 101 it talks about more about the cosmogram, and it says that the cosmogram is basically the gathering power of the Kora. So I guess the cosmogram is like the power behind the emotion, because Kora is this sacred feeling. Let's see here. and it's like our understanding of the universe, but like our own universe. So I guess that's where the cosmogram comes from, because like cosmo is like understanding of the skies, and maybe cosmogram is like our understanding of our individual universe and the power that can give us. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so like talking back about that map thing, they talked about the example, because I've been to Boston before, so I knew what they were talking about with the red line that like guides you through the like historical events that happened throughout the city. And then they kind of talked about this place in England, and it's like a community, and they kind of have a similar thing, and it's the blue line, and it traces throughout a community and like also shows the history. So it kind of says that the My Story takes these ideas, and through the internet, you're kind of drawing a virtual line through all these parts in your life that are such main events, and they kind of like make up your history. And it's kind of, they use the word docuverse, which to me sounds like a documentary, but in like, I don't know, like on the internet. So it's like a virtual documentary of your life. And it says that like even if like this figure or this line that you have doesn't make sense to people, it doesn't matter, because it's like only like important to you. And then they also had an example about this woman named Amelia Mesa Bynes, and she talks about her altars, and like on her altar she had different ooh, this video is really long. She had different like objects on altars, and this kind of like could bring you visually through her life by looking at all the different objects. Let's see how to wrap this up. There's so much in this chapter, and it's hard. It's a confusing chapter, so that's why I think I'm talking a lot about it, to try and understand it. But I liked the one quote from here that says, "My story is to insight what electricity is to lightning." So it's like electricity. So electricity kind of makes up the lightning, and it kind of like makes it go, and it's like everything that it embodies. So insight is to my story is electricity is the lightning, because insight is what a my story is. It shouldn't take like so much work and thinking. It's just like this boom, like this powerful like strike of lightning that is you. Okay, well, I've like been on here way too long, because this video is like gonna be 1,000 minutes. But I like how we talked about the slide guitar, and how that kind of showed, the slide guitar, and it kind of showed up in Ulmer's like life, and it was like this thread that went through different areas, joining everything together. And then in the office section, I guess to end this, it talks about how the self-portrait, or the white side is like your self-portrait, and it's like all about you recognizing things. And like when you're done, you should step back and be like, that is like, that embodies me. That's who I am. It doesn't matter if anyone else likes it. If it is who you are, and it represents you like entirely and who you've become. So sorry that was too long. I'm sure nobody will watch this because it's boring. And I hope that I explained that as well as I possibly could. So it was a hard chapter. Okay, thanks.